Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. What we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and backtrack a little bit from where we started at earlier this year. If you remember, we have worked on writing the time on each clock. Today, we're going to go ahead and review telling time to the nearest minute. The reason we're doing this is because we got so far ahead when we tried to do park that I felt like things like telling time to the nearest minute really got too fast for us. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our time. Now that we have a couple weeks left of school, we have time to do this. So I'm going to ask us to do is I'm going to ask us to go ahead and review some of this. Now, we are going to write the time shown on each clock, and we're going to focus on to the nearest minute. So, to do that, let's go ahead and look at our clocks. So here we have a nice big clock right here. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of review on what the different hands mean. Here you notice we have a really short hand right here. We got to think to ourselves, what is out of the words hour and minute, which one is shorter? Well, the word hour is shorter than minute, so our hour hand is this nice short hand. So that makes the minute hand our longer one. Again, remember, hour hand is short, minute hand is long. So let me go ahead and put this back here. Oops, put that right there as well. And let's go ahead and take this back here. All right. So now, when we are trying to figure out the time, my suggestion is we start with the hour hand. We look and see where the hour hand is pointing to. Well, in this case, it's pointing just past the 11. Okay? Now, when you're trying to figure out the time, you have two numbers you're looking at, especially when it comes to the hour hand. You're looking at the number that comes before the hour hand and the number that comes after the hour hand. This is very important. When your hour hand, you look at the number that comes before the hour hand. In this case, the 11 comes before this hour hand, meaning it happens before the hour hand. Let me get some of this kind of erased. Okay. So what that means is that the hour is still on the 11. It has not passed into 12. It's not in the 12 yet. It's still on the 11. So that makes the hour 11. All right. Now what we do is we look at the minute hand. This is where it gets a little bit tougher. Now, if you remember, around each number, there's an interval of 5 minutes. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and then we go back to 0, 0. Now, notice how our minute hand is right on that 2, and that goes with the 10 minutes. So that makes this time 11:10. And let's just say this is at night, so that would be 11:10 p.m. So let's apply that to our paper that we have right here, telling each number to the nearest minute. So let's go ahead and take a look at letter A. Letter A, we should notice that our hour hand, remember our short hour hand, is between the 9 and the 10. Now think to yourself, what comes before the hour hand? Is it the 9 or the 10? Well, looking closely, it has to be the 9. Our hour hand has not even reached the 10 yet. So that means that the hour right now is 9. So now we got to think to ourselves, okay, now we have the hour hand. Let's take a look at the minute hand. Remember, each of those little minutes, those numbers, represents 5-minute intervals. And so on and so on. So now, let's take a look here. Our minute hand's not quite on the 30. In fact, it's one digit below the 30. So we got to go 1 in front of 30, or 30 minus 1, going 1 back from 30. Well, we should know that that is 29. So this is 929. All right? Let's take a look at this next one, letter B. Again, the first thing we're looking at, ladies and gentlemen, is we're looking and seeing what two numbers is our hour hand in between. Well, we know it's between the 8 and the 9. Let's think to ourselves, has it crossed the 9 yet? Or is it still in the 8 zone? Think about what number comes before this hour hand. Well, we know the 8 comes before it because it hasn't crossed into the 9 yet. So that means that the hour is 8 o'clock. Now comes the minute hand. Again, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Now, it's between 20 and 25, so we start here at 20. We go 21, 22, 8, 22. Starting to come back to you? Let's try letter C. You're doing really well with this, ladies and gentlemen. Keep it up. Letter C. First things first. Now notice how the hands are getting really close to each other. They're getting really close to each other, and that's okay. What we can do is we still got to focus on that hour hand, that blue hour hand, and we think to ourselves, okay, what number is this in between? Well, it's in between the 10 and the 11. Has it crossed into the 11 yet? Meaning, is 11 in front of it, or is 11 behind it yet? No, it's not, because it hasn't crossed into that 11 yet. Notice it goes right to there. That means that it's still in this 10 zone right there. The 10 is behind it. So that makes this 10 o'clock for our hour. So now what we can do is let's take a look at our minutes. Well, we can do a little bit of a shortcut because we know this is 15, this is 30, and this is 45 because these are our quarter hours. And this is 0, 0. So now let's think to ourselves, this would be 50, this would be 55. Well, we have 55, Here we have 56, 57. So this is 10, 57. All right, here's what I want you to do, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to go ahead and try letter D for me, please. You're only going to go ahead and do letter D for me. Go ahead and pause this. Figure out letter D, and then go ahead and play this and see if you got the correct answer. And we're back. Did you get 749? Well, if you did, give yourself a pat on the back. If you did not, let's go through this. Look at our hour hand. That's where we want to start at, that blue hour hand. Notice what it's in between. It's between the 7 and the 8. Okay? That's the first step. The next step is we need to see, has it reached the 8 yet, or is it still in front of the 7? Well, we know it's still in front of the 7. It hasn't even touched the 8, so we're not even going to worry about that 8 right there. What we are going to look at, we're going to look at that 7. So that means it's still in the 7 zone. This entire zone, from here all the way to here, it all belongs to the 7. That makes it 7 for the hours. Now, let's take a look at our minutes. Remember, we have quarter minutes. This is 0, 15, 30. This is 45 at our 9. So now we know this is 45. We have 46, 47, 48, 49. That's how we got 749. All right. Here's what you're going to do now, okay? You're going to go ahead and stop this video. You're going to stop this video. You're going to go ahead and try letter E. Okay, letter E is going to be the last thing you're going to do on your own right now. When we come back, we're going to go ahead and work the rest of them in our groups. Okay, so go ahead and do letter E and then go ahead and stop. Thank you for keeping with me on this. I'll talk to you later.